Take a look at what happened.
A shocking incident occurred at a rally in Pennsylvania that sent shockwaves through the political landscape of the United States. Former President Donald Trump, in the midst of his campaign for the 2024 presidential election, was the target of an assassination attempt. The assailant, identified as Thomas Crooks, fired a shot that grazed Trump's ear. Remarkably, Trump emerged physically unscathed, but the political and emotional repercussions of this event were far-reaching. Before we start, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more updates. In a surprising twist, Tucker Carlson, the prominent conservative television host, revealed startling details about this assassination attempt during one of his widely watched broadcasts. Carlson, known for his influential and often provocative commentary, disclosed information that added a layer of complexity and intrigue to an already sensational story. His revelations cast a new light on the motivations and background of Thomas Crooks, and they also provided insight into Trump's reaction to the incident. According to Carlson, Crooks was not just an isolated individual with a vendetta against Trump. Instead, he was part of a larger and more sinister conspiracy. Carlson's investigation uncovered links between Crooks and a shadowy network of individuals who had been plotting against Trump for some time. This revelation suggested that the assassination attempt was not just an act of random violence, but a coordinated effort to eliminate Trump from the political scene. One of the most shocking aspects of Carlson's report was his claim that Trump was aware of the threats against him long before the rally in Pennsylvania. According to Carlson, Trump had been receiving intelligence reports about potential assassination plots and had even discussed these threats with his close advisors. Despite the danger, Trump decided to go ahead with his campaign events, showcasing his characteristic defiance and determination. Carlson's revelations also shed light on the man behind the gun. Thomas Crooks, it was revealed, had a troubled past and a history of mental health issues. However, Carlson's investigation suggested that Crooks was manipulated by more experienced operatives who preyed on his vulnerabilities and used him as a pawn in their larger scheme. This information painted a tragic picture of a man who was both a perpetrator and a victim. The attempted assassination and Carlson's subsequent revelations had immediate and profound implications for the 2024 presidential campaign. Trump's supporters rallied around him with renewed fervor, seeing the attack as evidence of the extreme lengths to which his opponents would go to stop him. On the other hand, his detractors viewed the incident and the ensuing coverage with skepticism, questioning the narrative being presented and demanding more concrete evidence of the alleged conspiracy. Trump's reaction to the assassination attempt was, in many ways, emblematic of his political persona. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, he downplayed the severity of the incident, brushing off the injury to his ear as a minor inconvenience. He used the opportunity to cast himself as a resilient and fearless leader, someone who would not be deterred by threats or violence. This stance resonated strongly with his base, further solidifying their loyalty and support. However, as Carlson's revelations gained traction, Trump faced pressure to address the broader implications of the alleged conspiracy. In a series of speeches and interviews, he acknowledged the intelligence reports he had received and expressed gratitude for the law enforcement officials who had been working to protect him. He also took the opportunity to criticize his political opponents, suggesting that the assassination attempt was a reflection of the deep-seated animosity and desperation within certain factions. The media's response to the incident and Carlson's report was predictably polarized. Conservative outlets largely echoed Carlson's narrative, emphasizing the conspiracy angle and portraying Trump as a heroic figure facing unprecedented threats. Liberal media, however, questioned the veracity of the claims and called for a more thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the shooting. This divide in coverage further highlighted the entrenched partisan dynamics in American politics. In the weeks following the assassination attempt, law enforcement agencies launched a comprehensive investigation into the incident. They scrutinized Crooks's background, traced his connections, and sought to uncover any evidence supporting Carlson's claims of a broader conspiracy. The investigation faced numerous challenges, including the need to balance transparency with the protection of sensitive intelligence sources. As the investigation progressed, it became clear that the truth about the assassination attempt was more complex than initially understood. While Crooks' mental health issues and personal grievances were evident, there were also indications of external influences and possible coordination with other individuals. However, conclusive evidence of a widespread conspiracy remained elusive, leading to ongoing debates and speculation. For Trump, the assassination attempt and its aftermath became a defining moment in his 2024 campaign. He continued to use the incident as a rallying cry, emphasizing his resilience and commitment to his supporters. He framed the attack as part of a broader struggle against forces seeking to undermine his vision for America. This narrative resonated strongly with his base, reinforcing their perception of him as a beleaguered yet steadfast leader. On the other hand, the incident also raised serious questions about the state of political discourse and the potential for violence in American politics. Critics argued that the toxic and polarized environment had contributed to the radicalization of individuals like Crooks. They called for a re-evaluation of the rhetoric and strategies employed by political leaders and media figures, urging a return to more civil and constructive dialogue. In the broader context of the 2024 election, the assassination attempt added another layer of uncertainty and tension. It highlighted the stakes involved and the lengths to which individuals and groups might go to influence the outcome. For voters, the incident served as a stark reminder of the volatile and often unpredictable nature of contemporary politics. Tucker Carlson's role in uncovering and publicizing the details of the assassination attempt also sparked discussions about the responsibilities and influence of media figures. Carlson's investigative work was lauded by his supporters, who saw him as a courageous truth-teller. However, his critics accused him of sensationalism and questioned the motives behind his revelations. This debate underscored the broader challenges facing the media in an era of deep political divisions and widespread distrust. Carlson, meanwhile, did not remain idle. Leveraging his platform's reach, he delved deeper into the network of individuals connected to Crooks. His nightly broadcasts became must-watch television for many Americans who were captivated by the unfolding drama. Carlson presented evidence suggesting that Crooks had been in contact with several known anti-Trump activists and potentially foreign operatives. He showcased intercepted communications and financial transactions that pointed to a well-coordinated plan aimed at destabilizing Trump's campaign. The portrayal of Crooks as a pawn in a larger game had significant implications. It shifted public perception from viewing him solely as a deranged individual to seeing him as part of a broader, more sinister effort. This narrative played into the fears and anxieties of many Americans, already heightened by years of political polarization and social unrest. One particularly compelling aspect of Carlson's investigation was the discovery of a manifesto purportedly written by Crooks. In this document, Crooks detailed his disillusionment with the political system and his belief that drastic measures were necessary to bring about change. The manifesto also contained references to communications with unnamed individuals who had encouraged his actions. While the authenticity of the document was debated, its content fueled further speculation about the depth and scope of the conspiracy. As these revelations continued to unfold, Trump's campaign capitalized on the narrative of an embattled leader under siege. Rallies took on a new intensity, with heightened security measures and fervent displays of loyalty from supporters. Trump himself leaned into the role of a defiant and unbreakable figure, drawing parallels between his personal ordeal and the broader struggles facing the nation. His speeches often highlighted the threats he had faced, framing them as attacks not just on him, but on the American way of life. The assassination attempt also had a profound impact on Trump's political strategy. He used the incident to galvanize his base and draw a stark contrast between himself and his opponents. Campaign ads featured dramatic reenactments of the event, underscored by messages of resilience and patriotism. The imagery of Trump standing strong in the face of danger became a central theme, resonating deeply with voters who admired his tenacity. For Trump's opponents, the situation posed a significant challenge. They had to navigate the delicate balance of condemning violence while also questioning the narratives being presented by Trump and Carlson. Democratic candidates emphasized the importance of upholding democratic principles and the rule of law, urging voters not to be swayed by fear-mongering. They called for unity and civility, contrasting their vision with what they described as Trump's divisive and inflammatory rhetoric. Amidst the political maneuvering, law enforcement agencies continued their investigation into the assassination attempt. The FBI and other federal agencies collaborated with local authorities to piece together the timeline of Crooks' activities leading up to the rally. They interviewed associates, analyzed digital communications, and tracked financial transactions. The goal was to identify any co-conspirators and prevent further acts of violence. The investigation revealed a web of connections, some more tenuous than others, between Crooks and various activist groups. While it became clear that Crooks had acted with encouragement from certain individuals, the evidence of a fully coordinated conspiracy remained elusive. This ambiguity fueled ongoing debates about the extent of the threat and the appropriate response. In parallel with the official investigation, independent journalists and analysts conducted their own inquiries. Some focused on verifying the authenticity of the documents and communications presented by Carlson, while others explored the broader implications of the assassination attempt on American politics. These efforts produced a range of perspectives, adding to the complexity of the narrative. One notable investigation by a team of investigative journalists uncovered potential links between Crooks and foreign entities. They traced a series of financial transactions that suggested funding from overseas sources, raising the specter of foreign interference in the 2024 election. While the exact nature and intent of these connections were still under scrutiny, the possibility of external actors influencing American politics added a new layer of urgency to the situation. The revelations about potential foreign involvement further polarized public opinion. Trump's supporters saw it as validation of their belief in a deep-seated conspiracy against him, while his detractors warned against jumping to conclusions without concrete evidence. The issue of foreign interference became a hotly debated topic, with implications for national security and the integrity of the electoral process. As the 2024 election drew closer, the assassination attempt and its aftermath remained at the forefront of the national conversation. Debates and discussions often circled back to the incident, with both sides using it to bolster their arguments. The polarized media landscape amplified these divisions, with conservative and liberal outlets offering starkly different interpretations of the same events. In this charged environment, voters were bombarded with conflicting narratives. Some were deeply moved by Trump's portrayal of resilience and steadfastness, while others were skeptical of the conspiracy theories and questioned the integrity of the information being presented. The assassination attempt had become a litmus test for broader political and ideological beliefs, influencing how individuals perceived the candidates and their platforms. Amidst the political turmoil, there were also calls for unity and healing. Civic leaders and community organizers urged Americans to rise above partisan divides and focus on common goals. They organized town halls, dialogues, and forums aimed at fostering understanding and reconciliation. These efforts, while sometimes overshadowed by the larger political drama, represented a crucial attempt to bridge the gaps and restore a sense of national cohesion. The legal proceedings against Thomas Crooks also garnered significant attention. As he faced charges related to the assassination attempt, his defense team argued that he had been manipulated and coerced by more powerful forces. They highlighted his mental health issues and personal struggles, portraying him as a tragic figure caught in a larger political game. This defense strategy aimed to mitigate his culpability by shifting some of the blame onto those who had allegedly influenced his actions. The trial became a media spectacle, with extensive coverage and analysis from all sides. Prosecutors presented evidence of Crooks' planning and execution of the attack, while the defense sought to humanize him and underscore the complexities of his motivations. The proceedings provided a window into the fractured state of American society, where issues of mental health, political extremism, and personal responsibility intersected in profound ways. As the trial progressed, the court heard testimonies from various witnesses, including law enforcement officials, psychologists, and political analysts. These testimonies painted a multifaceted picture of Crooks, highlighting both his individual agency and the broader influences that had shaped his actions. The legal arguments and evidence presented in the courtroom were meticulously dissected by the media, contributing to the ongoing public discourse. Crooks was found guilty of attempted assassination and related charges. The verdict was met with mixed reactions, reflecting the deep divisions within the country. Some saw it as a just outcome, holding him accountable for his actions, while others viewed him as a pawn in a larger game and felt that the true masterminds had not been fully exposed or brought to justice. In the aftermath of the trial, the focus shifted to the broader implications for American politics and society. The assassination attempt and the ensuing revelations had exposed the vulnerabilities and fault lines within the nation's democratic system. It underscored the need for vigilance against political violence and the importance of fostering a healthier and more constructive political discourse. For Trump, the resolution of the legal case did not mark the end of the saga. He continued to invoke the assassination attempt in his campaign rhetoric, using it as a symbol of the dangers he faced and the resilience he embodied. His narrative of defiance and strength remained a central theme, resonating with his base and contributing to his ongoing political momentum. As the 2024 election approached its climax, the nation braced for a contentious and high-stakes battle. The assassination attempt and its aftermath had added an unprecedented layer of drama and urgency to the electoral process. Voters were faced with stark choices, not only between candidates but also between competing visions of America's future. The enduring legacy of the assassination attempt on Donald Trump by Thomas Crooks was a testament to the complexities and challenges of contemporary American politics. It highlighted the interplay between individual actions and broader societal dynamics, revealing the fragility and resilience of the democratic process. As the country moved forward, the lessons learned from this tumultuous period would continue to shape the national dialogue and influence the course of history. The story of Thomas Crooks and the assassination attempt on Donald Trump also raised important questions about the role of mental health in the context of political violence. Crooks' troubled history and the defense's emphasis on his psychological state brought attention to the often overlooked issue of mental health support and intervention. This aspect of the case spurred discussions about the adequacy of mental health resources and the need for better systems to identify and assist individuals at risk of radicalization or violence. Mental health professionals weighed in on the case, offering insights into the psychological factors that might have contributed to Crooks' actions. They highlighted the potential for untreated mental health issues to exacerbate feelings of anger, isolation, and vulnerability, making individuals more susceptible to manipulation by extremist ideologies. This analysis underscored the importance of early intervention and comprehensive mental health care as part of a broader strategy to prevent political violence. The intersection of mental health and political extremism also raised questions about the responsibilities of political leaders and media figures. Critics argued that inflammatory rhetoric and divisive messaging could exacerbate the psychological distress of vulnerable individuals, pushing them toward radical actions. This debate touched on the ethical obligations of those in positions of influence to consider the potential impact of their words and actions on public safety and social cohesion. In response to these concerns, some political leaders and media organizations took steps to moderate their language and promote more constructive dialogue. Initiatives aimed at fostering understanding and reducing polarization gained traction, with bipartisan support for measures to enhance mental health resources and address the root causes of political extremism. Educational campaigns and community outreach programs sought to promote empathy and resilience, aiming to counteract the factors that contribute to radicalization and violence. The broader societal implications of the assassination attempt also led to a re-evaluation of security protocols for public events. The shooting at Trump's rally highlighted vulnerabilities in the existing systems and prompted calls for enhanced measures to protect political candidates and public figures. Security experts recommended a range of strategies, from improved screening procedures to increased coordination between federal and local law enforcement agencies. These recommendations aim to balance the need for safety with the importance of maintaining open and accessible political processes. In the midst of these changes, Trump continued his campaign with a renewed sense of purpose. His near-death experience became a central theme in his stump speeches, where he portrayed himself as a survivor and a fighter. He used the incident to emphasize the stakes of the 2024 election. arguing that his political opponents represented a threat not just to his candidacy, but to the very fabric of American democracy. Trump's rhetoric was effective in mobilizing his base, but it also drew criticism from those who saw it as fear-mongering and divisive. Opponents argued that his focus on the assassination attempt detracted from substantive policy discussions and stoked tensions in an already polarized environment. They called for a return to issues-based campaigning, urging voters to consider the broader implications of their choices at the ballot box. As Election Day approached, the country remained deeply divided. Polls showed a tight race, with both Trump and his Democratic opponent, whose identity and platform were less sensationalized, commanding significant support. The assassination attempt and the subsequent revelations had introduced an element of unpredictability, making it difficult to gauge the true mood of the electorate. Analysts debated the potential impact of the incident on voter turnout and sentiment, with some predicting a surge of support for Trump driven by sympathy and solidarity, while others expected a backlash against what they saw as his exploitation of the event for political gain. The night of the election was tense and dramatic, with results coming in from across the country. Early returns showed a neck-and-neck race, with both candidates winning key battleground states. The atmosphere was charged, with supporters of both sides gathering in anticipation of a pivotal moment in American history. The media coverage was relentless, with pundits and analysts dissecting every detail and offering predictions about the outcome. In the end, the 2024 election proved to be one of the most contentious and closely watched in recent memory. As votes were tallied and the results became clear, it was evident that the nation was more divided than ever. Trump narrowly won re-election, securing his place in the annals of American political history. His victory speech was triumphant yet measured, acknowledging the challenges ahead and calling for unity in the face of adversity. For Trump's supporters, the election result was a vindication of their belief in his leadership and resilience. They saw his victory as a triumph over adversity and a testament to the power of determination and perseverance. Celebrations erupted across the country, with rallies and gatherings marking the culmination of a hard-fought campaign. On the other side, Trump's opponents were dismayed and disheartened by the outcome. They feared that his re-election would further entrench divisions and exacerbate the challenges facing the nation. Calls for reflection and renewed efforts to promote unity and healing emerged, as many sought ways to bridge the gaps and find common ground. The legacy of the assassination attempt and the revelations that followed would continue to shape the political landscape long after the election. For Trump, it became a defining chapter in his career, a moment that symbolized both the dangers he faced and the strength he exhibited. For the nation, it was a sobering reminder of the vulnerabilities and complexities inherent in a democratic society. In the months and years that followed, efforts to address the underlying issues exposed by the incident gained momentum. Policymakers, scholars, and activists worked together to develop strategies for preventing political violence and promoting mental health. Legislative initiatives aimed at enhancing security measures, improving mental health services, and fostering civic education were introduced and debated at all levels of government. The assassination attempt also spurred a renewed focus on media responsibility and the role of rhetoric in shaping public perceptions. Journalists and commentators grappled with the ethical implications of their work, considering how their coverage and commentary could either contribute to or mitigate political tensions. Media organizations implemented new guidelines and training programs to promote balanced and responsible reporting, recognizing the power of their platforms in influencing public opinion. In the academic realm, researchers explored the psychological and sociological factors that contribute to political extremism and violence. Studies examined the pathways to radicalization, the impact of media consumption on political beliefs, and the effectiveness of intervention programs. This research informed policy discussions and helped shape evidence-based approaches to addressing the root causes of political violence. At the community level, grassroots initiatives aimed at fostering dialogue and understanding gained traction. Organizations dedicated to bridging divides and promoting social cohesion expanded their efforts, hosting forums, workshops, and community events. These initiatives emphasize the importance of empathy, active listening, and collaboration in building a more inclusive and resilient society. The story of Thomas Crooks and the attempted assassination of Donald Trump became a case study in the interplay between individual actions and broader societal dynamics. It highlighted the complexities of mental health, the influence of rhetoric, and the vulnerabilities of democratic systems. As the nation continued to grapple with these issues, the lessons learned from this tumultuous period informed ongoing efforts to strengthen democracy and promote peace. In the years following Trump's re-election, his administration faced numerous challenges and opportunities. The policies and decisions of his second term were shaped by the experiences and revelations of the assassination attempt. Trump prioritized national security and mental health initiatives, seeking to address the threats and vulnerabilities exposed by the incident. His administration launched new programs aimed at improving mental health care, supporting at-risk individuals, and enhancing the resilience of democratic institutions. Internationally, the assassination attempt and the subsequent revelations had significant geopolitical implications. The potential involvement of foreign actors in the plot raised concerns about global security and the integrity of democratic processes. The United States worked closely with its allies to investigate and address these threats, leading to new collaborations and initiatives aimed at countering foreign interference in elections and political affairs. Domestically, the political landscape continued to evolve in response to the assassination attempt and its aftermath. Trump's opponents regrouped and redefined their strategies, focusing on building a broad coalition to challenge his policies and promote an alternative vision for the country. New leaders emerged, bringing fresh perspectives and ideas to the forefront of the political debate. The media's role in shaping public perceptions remained a critical issue. Journalists and commentators faced ongoing scrutiny and pressure to balance their reporting with the need for accuracy and responsibility. The lessons learned from the coverage of the assassination attempt informed new approaches to journalism, emphasizing the importance of context, nuance, and ethical considerations. The broader societal impact of the assassination attempt extended beyond the political and media spheres. It prompted a re-evaluation of the values and principles that underpin American democracy. Civic education programs were expanded to promote a deeper understanding of democratic processes and the responsibilities of citizenship. Initiatives aimed at fostering civic engagement and participation gained momentum, encouraging individuals to take an active role in shaping their communities and their country. As the nation moved forward, the story of Thomas Crooks and the attempted assassination of Donald Trump served as a powerful reminder of the challenges and opportunities inherent in a democratic society. It underscored the importance of resilience, empathy, and vigilance in the face of adversity. It also highlighted the need for continued efforts to address the root causes of political violence and promote a more inclusive and cohesive society. The assassination attempt on Donald Trump by Thomas Crooks was not just a story of a single act of violence. It was a reflection of the broader struggles and complexities of American democracy. It was a testament to the resilience of individuals and institutions in the face of threats and challenges, and it was a call to action for all Americans to work together to build a more just, equitable, and peaceful society. The final chapters of this story are still being written. As the nation continues to evolve and adapt, the lessons learned from this tumultuous period will shape the future of American democracy. The journey toward healing and reconciliation is ongoing, driven by the collective efforts of individuals, communities, and leaders committed to the ideals of democracy and justice. In reflecting on the events of July 13, 2024, and their aftermath, it is clear that the attempted assassination of Donald Trump by Thomas Crooks was a pivotal moment in American history. It revealed the deep divisions and vulnerabilities within the nation, but it also highlighted the strength and resilience of its people. It was a story of courage and defiance, of tragedy and hope, of challenges faced and overcome. As the years pass, the memory of that day and its significance will endure. It will serve as a reminder of the importance of vigilance, empathy, and unity in the face of adversity. It will inspire future generations to continue the work of building a more just and equitable society. And it will stand as a testament to the enduring strength of American democracy, a beacon of hope and resilience in a world often marked by uncertainty and change. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what do you think will happen to Trump's 2024 campaign? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time